Yo, what up guys? My name's Nate Hamilton. Thanks for joining our team on this journey. We're gearing up for the Guide to Create tour. In this episode, we're putting a motor in our car, we're aligning a drift car, and we're putting it on the dyno. Let's go. A few months ago, we shipped our motor off to Golen Engines. We spent 2 years on the same motor, full throttle, no issues, but it was time for it to get refreshed. So motor showed back up from Golen Engines in a blink of an eye, and just like all drift off seasons go, everything seems to come down to the wire. So with that being said, we had to completely put the drivetrain, wiring, coolant, everything back together to get this car to start. To be honest with you guys, usually there's at least something that's missing, but thankfully our boys really focused, and we were basically tasked to start this motor, so check this out.
Perfect. Thank you, sir.
You bet.
All right, so we're at the print house, and I want to give you guys a quick update as my life is flying by. Our website is being developed right now, so this is something that we've worked on for like the past 2 months behind the scenes. And hopefully when you guys get to watch this video, it's up and running. So we're working really hard at new merch that we get to print and create. And something I wanted to note on the new merch is just like, dude, I want to create merch for all the drivers, right? Or just drifting. Like, I want to transition 144 out of Nate Hamilton only and blue and purple only. So with that being said, we printed up some of these. So these are the Art of Drift. So we have a navy hit on a brown hit. This is all fully designed and printed by us, which is rad. We also have a separate colorway here, which is like an off-white on a gray, and much more on the website. So I'm been like printing in here, creating cool stuff. So thank you guys for watching. More things happening. We have Elisha dumping videos out on YouTube very often, so he's been killing it. Hopefully you guys are enjoying that. We also have a brand new motor from Golen Engines that just arrived. So the boys are now tasked with putting this in today. Dirty ass screen. Midday update. Haven't printed anything today yet, but the motor is going in, and that's the important part of this video. So the boys are adjusting motor mounts, and the little girl's going in, folks.
New mechanic here. Just teaching these boys how to put a motor in.
What?
It is. Maybe it's supposed to be loose, or maybe it's.
I feel like it's supposed
Nate's
to
gonna
be tight.
tell him what's up. Pause. Pause.
Yeah, what was that?
The last part, bro.
Ninja Turtle room?
Donatello. Everybody loves Donatello.
Here she is. The GSR 4-speed gearbox going back into the car. Grip roll shout out. Boys got me all painted black. Boom, Rasta vibes. Then we got the new wheel I'm gonna be running. This is our print house themed wheel. So not my signature wheel, but I gotta jump out with the season of the bright, sick wheel right here. So I'm hyped on this thing.
Alright, so tell us, 'cause I know a lot of people probably wonder this. What does the CFR mean in the dash?
The CFR stands for clutch, front, and rear, like reservoirs. So our front and our rear brakes have a bias. They're a Willwood setup, So essentially you can add more front brake or more rear brake, or you can kind of balance out how you want your braking. And then obviously the clutch is just its own separate reservoir. So yeah, CFR, shout out Chris Forsberg Racing. A lot of people get that confused. So yeah, clutch, front, rear.
I thought it was like a sentimental type of thing or something.
Yeah, like, and honestly, I think, yeah, that was just like something that we did back at Juku, and it's just easy for the boys to know what reservoir they were messing with, so you didn't have to track a line down. And then it just got so much play, like with the visual helmet cam. So as I'm driving, you know, if you look hard enough, you can see it all the time. So it's probably like the top 20 asked questions.
And we got the beautiful suede dash.
Yeah, got the blue suede still living. So basically, this chassis is gonna run into the 22 season, which is what we're doing right now. So today we're starting the car for the first time. And then honestly, we got about 12 months with it, and we plan to retire this car. So the guts of this car will finally go into the 370Z. And then
we're giving this car away.
No, this car's never gonna go away. I sold my original chassis, which is outside now, just kind of like chilling, which we got back. But this car will just get a whole new wrap, whole new fresh kit, and then just sit in a museum forever or something.
Yeah.
We'll go somewhere for a while. Holding. Feeling good? Look good? Pedals feeling good. Holding.
Okay, close.
Solid? Maybe we just let it ride. Whatever we did, the pedal's like...
Twice as good?
Yeah. Don't judge our fitment right now. It's just
That's a
eyeball.
nice fitment.
No, dude. No, this gap.
Look at that. A little bit of poke don't hurt nobody. A little bit of, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
She ain't ready yet.
Sheesh.
She ain't ready yet.
He's more of a flesh man's. He's more of a flesh man's. It's all good.
Everything else is...
Sheesh. I think he needs more poke. I think he can get stacks of stages back there.
Looks like... Give it a try.
All the poke.
All the poke.
Nate, will you just double check me to make sure there's no more like wires we forgot to pair up to the fuel? I need the gauge.
Sweet. So no fuel's leaking on the ground. Mind blown. As soon as we put the motor and everything in, it started up like first try. It was ridiculous. So for me, that was like a really good sign of the season ahead. So now that the car is started, we're on our way to Cap's Autoworks. So again, remember, fresh suspension. So the FDF Mantis Angle front end kit and also their full rear end grip kit. With this, it's a pretty big move for us to switch all suspension components and have a fresh motor. So we knew we kind of had our work cut out for us at Cap's Autoworks, and here we go. Blue sky with some thunderstorms popping up. We got the vlog in the house. Welcome everybody. Right now we're talking about alignment specs with Cap's Autoworks. Follow me, we'll get out this wind, get out the street. Long story short, you guys know that we tossed all new FDF front and rear kit at this car. So today's goal with Cap's Autoworks, we're working with Eddie, the owner, we're working with Adrian, my mechanic, and Brandon, my mechanic. So we started on the rear end of the car, we moved on to the front end of the car. Everything is going really, really well. Tomorrow we're on to a dyno, so stay tuned. But hope you guys enjoy a little behind the scenes of everything going down here at Caps. And thank you, Caps, for having us. Let's get this thing dialed in.
What are we doing right now?
Sweating. We're sweating out here in Texas.
It's not even summer yet.
We're loading the car as if it were full throttle to see what our fitment and our toe gain looks like on our base setting. So if you can see, the tire and fender are right up on each other. That's what his car looks like under full load. So in drift, this car looks like that. And we're seeing what his alignment spec is in drift.
So quick shout out to Eddie here. So Caps Autoworks, it's in Fort Worth. So you guys gotta get your shit dialed in, come here and like work with Eddie, dude. He's like he's the same vibe as us. He's teaching and offering a service, which for me is like where I wanna be. So I hope this helps any other local dudes find the right spot. I think in previous vlogs you've seen us here before, but like I said, I'm in good hands. Eddie cares a lot about alignment specs. And with our new FDF kit, he's been able to like really put a wrench on everything, teach the boys some things.
Yeah, they're picking it up really fast. There's been a lot of questions with this kit and a lot of new things. I know it's almost a prototype or experimental kit right now, right? I think
this is one of the first ones to come from FDF with their new revisions. So me and Josiah are partnering for the season as teammates.
Cool.
So we're literally trying to match as much suspension setup as possible. So he's running the same LSX motor, same clutch and flywheel. Like it's just a very similar setup. So I'm trying to think of a few questions for Eddie, like what's good about the kit, or what did you like about it so far?
I mean, you're seeing like things that the ability to tune toe gain, which is really huge in your sport.
Right.
Being able to tune the wheelbase almost and be able to set things in line. There's just a lot of adjustment out of it. Where they've addressed a few things as far as usability of the kit and as far as reliability of the kit. They've upgraded so many things, so many components on this thing and you can tell what they've learned from their past kits and applied to this kit. And it's just taking it to the next step.
Dude. And I like it too because Josiah, I mean, grassroots vibe, but he's doing all of his own R&D. Like he's putting this stuff together. He's sending it out to the market to try it. So like, I'm pumped to try this. I know on that rear, we had like a toe adjustment or like a in throttle gain. How do I word that, Eddie?
Toe gain. Pretty much, under throttle, under load, you're gonna see the rear suspension squat a little bit. And the ability to tune how much squat you're gonna get and how much toe and how much bite you're gonna get under squat is huge when it comes to grip.
Right.
So,
and with one adjustment, we got like X amount of degrees out of it.
Almost a full degree of toe gain under load. So, I mean, you're not gonna see under load very often, but when you do, you're gonna want that bite.
Right.
So that's perfect for them.
Yeah, dude. So rear end went really well. So walk us through where we're at right now and what's up for the rest of the night. So we got the rear end pretty set up.
So the rear end's pretty set up. I know that's one thing we really wanted to tackle. That was the main, that's all the new stuff coming in. That's all new stuff they developed recently. So be able to set that up was kind of our first step to tackle. And now we're working on the front end now to kind of get you a base setup on that. And once we get that done, we're gonna do a corner balance and we're gonna roll it and do a final alignment and get you set up for hopefully the rest of the season.
So sick. I'm super excited. Like for me, I've been on the Part Shop Max stuff for X amount of years. And then obviously with the new FDF, I just feel like the team is able to level up. And especially being here with Eddie, he's teaching the guys like what to do at the track. So if we want to gain camber, if we want to gain traction, we're starting to really understand like what that looks like on the fly. So they've got it down to even like X amount of turns equal this result.
Oh, yeah. And the length of the Heim joints equals amount of this, how much camber, or this, how much is what's going to affect what or what, you know, that.
Yeah.
And, you know, that was important for us to be able to put those notes down. So when you are trackside, we don't have a big machine, you're able to, you know, change it on the fly.
Yeah. So yeah, dude, I'm pumped. I feel like we're moving in the right direction. Thank you, FDF. Thank you, Eddie, for having us. A lot more wrenching to go. We'll finally like get this alignment done, and tomorrow we'll move on to the dyno. So I think the video will continue on into the dyno. All right, let's talk timeline. So putting a motor in basically over the weekend, rolling into Caps Autoworks on Monday, and then right into Art of Assembly on Tuesday, with Fuel Fest coming up on Saturday. You can see the timeline being pretty risky as far as if we needed any parts or if anything went wrong. So it's very, very important that everything falls into place at this moment. All right, this is where we get to meet Roman and Vince at Art of Assembly. New facility, state-of-the-art dyno, big fan air room. I don't really know what to call that, but basically it was really, really cool. Check this out. There's this moment where it's like da, 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 boom, rah, and you come to life. So there's something right at that startup moment.
Okay.
And then
How's it start when it's cold?
sometimes it takes a little bit longer in the crank. Like da, 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 da,
Will
da,
it
da.
call for engine or just cranks? Like it will sputter?
It'll cough, it'll sputter a little.
Okay, so probably just needs a little
Yeah.
more fuel then.
And then on my end, like one of the things I wanted to do was obviously let you have fun with it and do what you can. But overall, the goal for this motor is to be able to run like 400 laps a day. So I'd love for it to like, if we make more power, we could talk about how efficient, and then just really set it up for like at TMS this weekend, like I'm 1 to 8 driving.
Yeah.
So it's just like, just remember this thing's supposed to beat its ass all year, so
Thankfully I do a lot of 24-hour cars.
hell yeah.
So
Beautiful.
400 laps, I get it.
Exactly. What you think, Elisha? We cleaned it up, dude. The boys gave her a nice wash this morning.
She's clean for sure.
Super clean. Had to make it look good for Roman. We didn't want to come up in here not proper, you know? But yeah, Adrian's gonna grab tire pressure, so we'll take that down.
Okay.
And then yeah, if you want to run Dr. Pepper on it, so run Dr. Pepper on it.
Diet Coke, Dr. Pepper.
There it is. Shout out to Sprite.
What does that do?
Well, what we're trying to do now is it's spinning on the dyno. So we're gonna lower tire pressure. We're also gonna try to put a little adhesive down, Dr. Pepper or something, to get the tire to stick to the rollers. So when he did his initial like pull, he just hit rev limiter, just like a drift car should.
Pepper.
We have to film this part.
Mine feels so sluggish. I'll put input.
Secret sauce right here, baby.
We're putting this in the motor, guys.
Straight in.
Straight up. Yo, that's the trick with 1500 horsepower GTRs, but this thing.
Too much torque and we can't get the tire. We're drifting on the dyno right now.
Looks like drawings on it.
It's good until about here, and then it starts spinning the tire, and I just stayed in it just to see if it would clean up, but it just went right to the limiter.
This one's Road Atlanta, my favorite entry.
Yeah. This thing looks pretty hard to run.
Saturday, let's take a ride.
Oh, the lights, the fucking tires right up.
Yeah, she's gnarly with it, man. So this was kind of a weird moment, to be honest. It was something I didn't expect. We put the car on the dyno, and of course I think the first pull out, we're gonna do like 600 horsepower, no problem. And then from there we were just gonna tweak things. Not the case. So consistently we were pulling about 450 horsepower out of the car, which seemed like way off. We were kind of tasked to try to figure this out because it just couldn't be right. How's that looking? No, like just drag racing down the line.
Yeah.
Like sometimes our car with the super fast dudes is a little slower, but nothing crazy, you know?
So like,
The car feels like it has 600 horsepower. Like I don't feel that I'm at a huge disadvantage.
yeah, actually.
0.026.
How much?
0.026.
Man, that seems so tight. Let's see.
That's what is recommended
By Golen.
by
Chad.
Yep.
Higher the gap, fatter the spark. That's all. So usually with NA, you don't have to gap them down so low. The turbo cars, it has shaded ignition, you have to gap them down like 18 or
I
something.
think
shit like
mine's
that.
at 0.32.
So if you have a good ignition system, if you have a fat gap, no power.
So maybe the plugs are choking out the power it could make.
You could if it's gap too tight.
But you also took the plugs right out of the motor that came off the engine dyno. And what did those read?
Okay.
See on the strap right there, you got that line that divides the colors.
Mm-hmm.
That's called the annealment point.
Mhm.
The annealment point is how much heat's in the cylinder. So when the motor is, in theory, when the motor is perfectly tuned, that coloring you'll see right on the corner of the strap right there at the 90. So that means we got all that ignition timing still to go to get the cylinder hot enough so that it's at peak power technically.
I see.
So that's why I'm asking if you could send a log, because the thing's at 25 degrees of timing. I'm wondering if they were running it at 32 degrees of timing.
Got it.
You know what I mean?
Which is there is our 300 horsepower.
Which is probably a solid 200 on something like this.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So that would make us at like 648, 650s to the wheel.
If
Which
our timing
what
is
this thing should
correct.
make. That's what this thing should make from the engine dyno. If it made a 750 on engine dyno, it should be 10-12% off of that.
From there, we tried things like we took the exhaust off, got power. We took the intake off and found more power. Then we put the intake on and still had the same power. So me and Roman were really scratching our heads trying to figure it out. Then Adrian remembered his moment at Dyno when they spoke about fuel sitting for too long, specifically ethanol. And this really lit the light bulb up. And so we realized that we did kind of plug and cap everything in our fuel system, but it was low. So one of the things they taught us at Dyno was condensation can happen over the winter into the spring, which is obviously what we're in. So with that being said, as we kept feeding it VP Racing fuel, it kept lighting up fast, like better and better and better results. So the fuel ended up being our issue the whole time as you guys watch this section.
cap off the fuel system completely when we pulled the engine out. Nate told me to just tape them off, and I guess air found its way in and condensation happened and water got into the fuel, or something happened where the E85 wasn't as good.
All right, so results on the dyno. So think about this. Air goes in, all sorts of power things happen, air goes out. So as we basically rolled in here, we just went right off of our last year's tune and we started making tweaks. As we made those tweaks, we didn't see any dramatic results. So therefore we thought about the air going in and the air going out. So therefore we took off our exhaust and then we seen a huge result. So think of a motor as a massive air pump. Air comes in, combustion, and air goes out. Essentially the air going out was restricted. So we're not able to pull all the power that Golen's offering us with our motor package. So we have to rethink our exhaust. We're putting our exhaust back on for the Fuel Fest race. We'll basically have the same power we've always had with a rad Golen motor, and then from here, we'll come back to Art of Assembly and we'll really talk numbers and results out of the motor. Yeah, like I would say where my current mindset is right now, I have a healthy car, I have a healthy team. We've worked super hard from the print house to the racing studio like as a whole. We're printing super rad products for everybody. I'm super stoked to see everyone at the track. I feel like I'm gaining a community and family here with the print house. So there's just like multiple beautiful things happening. I do want to plug really quick a huge change in my life. We're having a kid, me and my wife Megan. So this is epic and going to absolutely elevate me. I feel more fueled up versus weighed down. So I'm super stoked to win some races for my new kid coming. From here, we're headed to Fuel Fest. It's our first event. This will be basically like a test and tune on mainly suspension. Then from there, right into Clutch Kickers, our first race. So if you found this video, there's many more. We'll see you guys soon.